Can you all hear me? I can chart Spank. Is the audio okay? Is the audio okay? Yeah, nice. 6 people. Yeah, I'll chart the shit out of Spank. Let's get a list. Alright, so obviously we're going to do BTC, LTC, ETH, Icon, Dragon, ONT, OCN. We'll go over my link call, sub, EOS, Strat, TRX, XVG, Spank, just because. What's up, Nas? ADA, yes, somebody asked for ADA, and we have a call on ADA right now. XRP. Cool. Whatever else you guys want. Let me look through and see here. Waves. Oh, KMD. We're going to do Ven. Oh, Edo, Encash, and a couple more. Because damn it, I have a life too. Juan. Sanjeev wants XLM. I can do that. Yeah, hit up the likes, retweet, guys, sub. Ow. ENJ. Turn my phone down. Turn on notifications when you sub too, guys, so that you know when I'm going live. Because I'm going to be streaming more often. Give it a couple more minutes. Yeah, I got Dragon. I have Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Icon, Dragon, ONT, OCN, Link, Substratum, EOS, Stratus, Tron, Verge, Spank, Cardano, Ripple, Waves, Komodo, VeChain, Edu, Ido, however you say it, Encash, OneChain, Lumens, and ENJ. Is this shit lagging for you guys? Let me see what I can do here. Let me plug in my Ethernet. $18.75, $25.59. That should fix it. Turning my Wi-Fi off on my printer because it might be messing it up. Yeah, my bit rate is jumping all over the place. Let me close some programs. Is it working now for you guys? It's like it's jumping all over the place. Why? I haven't had lag in a while. I really haven't. I haven't had to deal with this for a long time. Now it looks like my throughput is better. Let me see if there's any other. Turn off email. I'm dropping frames. It looks like my throughput's going well now. Let me see. Dropping frames. Let me know if it's better for you guys now. I don't know why I'm getting lag. It's good now. Okay, cool. Chris Hansberger, is it good for you now? 4 people watching now because it dropped so many frames. Stupid. Stupid. All right, cool. Hopefully we can get a couple more people in here. I don't know why that was, but we're good now. Cool. All right. I'll get going when we get 10 people in here. Not, I'll get going now. All right, let's look at Bitcoin. Looking like she wants another leg down. Gosh. You know, if we fib this entire level, like if we go, okay, from here to there, it's dropped underneath the 618. So 6,700, 6,660, 666 could be in stow at the 786. I don't think it matters. I really don't. I mean, you could tell yourself there was a tiny accumulation pattern back here. Morning, Dave. David? Take it you are in Australia. Tip of the morning to. All right, so yeah, 67.14. Let's make another leg down now, which is no bueno. The shorts, and another thing, the shorts are at 27,600 and the longs are at 34,000. So these longs close, it could be, it could go down further. For sure, it could be fuel to pour it down, pull it down. But yeah, it looks like we're taking another, goodness gracious, it's terrible. 4 minutes until, well, let's see. Is it dumping again? Trying to see if this is still working. Okay. Let's go to the 4 hour. That's really what matters right now. And yeah, so it's dropped below the 618. It can bounce to the 786. That would give us probably to around the 382 area. I'm not buying it. It's not looking fantastic right now. Now, one thing to notice within market structure, we are in a descending wedge. We bounced off the top of it. First, second, third point of contact. Didn't even get a false breakout. It was just a straight bounce off resistance. So she's basically kind of in free fall mode right now. I mean, if I were to take these fibs off right here, And what I would think would happen, if anything, is there's got a 6K's got to hold. Gosh, it's tough. It's up in the air. I mean, when I tell you it's up in the air, it's crazily up in the air right now. If we zoom out and go to the 1 day, me personally, I don't see why this support would hold. It's it doesn't look good. Looks like a bearish engulfing candle on the daily. So you have your green candles inside, and then you have full-bodied bear candles on the left, full-bodied bear candles on the right. It is 6:43. So one thing that you guys need to guard against is that in the next 17 minutes, whales or market makers, but I'd say whales, market makers' job is to provide liquidity, not really mess with the market as much, could be flash dumping and then recovering right before the daily close, or closing the daily bearish, shaking out some longs, and then continuing higher immediately. We will see. The only thing I can tell you guys right now is that, good traders, they trade the setups that come to them, and they don't trade the ones that don't come to them. So there's a lot of times when you guys could have, gosh, 3-4 day periods when there's not a lot of trades to be had. In a certain coin or in the entire market. Right now, there's not a lot of trades to be had. In altcoins, the trades to be had are definitely there. But if Bitcoin breaks this support around 6,000, it's the Wild West. A lot of altcoins are in consolidation phases and tightening ranges, and looking a lot like the chart setups for previous altcoin seasons. But with them being tightening ranges and Bitcoin breaking support, or if it will that break the altcoin ranges and send them to the downside? I don't know. So we have to be careful with our capital here, very much so. 1:17 till daily close. It closes at 7 p.m. Eastern, doesn't it? I have 16 minutes ish. I don't know. We'll see. But the one thing you have to keep telling yourself is it's bearish, and you can see with the moving averages on the 1 day. The 20 EMA has denied a couple attempts, and then we haven't gotten to it or even gotten over it yet. So, this would be if I were to take this kind of blue descending wedge off, let me see if there's no bull div on the daily anymore. Okay, so if I were to draw some sort of, this is basically your pattern right here at this point. And that's a, descending triangle, bearish formation. If we do a measured move on that, and then clone it, that'll bring BTC's price to negative 2,200. Joking, guys. There's just not a lot to do with Bitcoin right now. We need to see if this support can hold. Not only the support at the recent swing lows, so 6,500, but what was the recent daily close? 6,439, 69. Buy it. But then this horizontal support, 5,900, 5903, 52. This is according to BitMEX prices. There's just a little bit of a waiting game. If you want to be a renegade, go ahead and buy. I'm not ready to do that. We had bought Litecoin and Neo, and I told everybody to make sure they stay in profit on their positions. So I'm betting that you guys stuck to your stops and exited. Um, I just wish I had more for you guys, but sometimes the market gives you a waiting game, and the true skill of a trader in that moment is to not force things and to wait and let the market tell them what the next move is. Um, we could start lining up if it breaks this support here and wants to go down to 43.06. Let me see if that lines up with the trend line. Oh, this trend line is lining up with the 1272. Yeah, 43.06-ish. 4,500 depends where it catches it and how aggressive the dump would be. Then we could start lining up some longs to shorts. So you long up to a certain area and then you short it back down. There will be many profitable trade setups regardless of what BTC's price action does, but you have to let the market come to you. Yeah, there's talk of it going down to 4K. I get it. The bears are. The thing is that, like, you'll notice when you're around this space for a few market cycles or any space, but especially crypto because the market cycles are accelerated and the volatility is enhanced tenfold compared to other markets, is that the bears are aggressive when they come out. They are aggressive, and you'll notice in bull trends, it doesn't seem as amazing in bull trends as it seems terrible in bear trends, if that makes sense. It's just a series of just lower highs and lower lows, and it pushes you to the brink. And then when you just given up hope, the market turns and it turns like that. So the psychology of a market cycle, guys, is basically, I mean, any chart is human psychology and human emotion. And the psychology of it is you have to think, the flock mentality, the herd mentality. We are trained that green means go and red means stop, right? At least in America. I don't know what street signs and street lights are like in other countries. But in America, green means go, red means stop. And screw it, across the world in many facets. So we want to buy green. Our natural human instinct is to buy the green, not buy the blood. And freak out and walk away when it's red, when things are bad in the market or when you think they're bad. I like the volatility personally, but you have to train yourself to like that. So when things are bad, it tends to make you walk away. It tends to make the flock walk away. Smart money is buying in. People like Warren Buffett in other markets, not in Bitcoin because he's against cryptocurrencies, but smart money like Warren Buffett, they buy when there's blood in the streets. So if you took a really, really long view of Bitcoin and crypto, I mean, we know the space is not going anywhere, and you want to just start averaging in on the downside, that's fine if your tolerance for risk is spread out over the long term, and your tolerance for holding is spread out over the long term. You could start averaging in. Gosh, do your thing. Dollar cost averaging over time is undefeated, except for in markets that die. So, but I like to play the volatility. I do like to take long positions, but I don't think that this is the place to be playing a long position because if this bounces, we will catch retraces to the shorter term moving averages and play it up to key longer term moving averages, if that makes sense, and really take advantage of the volatility and the fear and the greed in the market. But in the meantime, you got to chill out and just wait. Sometimes there's not a ton to do, and right now is one of those times that there's not a ton to do. Because here's why. If I go down to the 4 hour, and here's why I don't want to long right now, is because we are right on this kind of key area. If I fib this tiny move or this nice move that we just had up to the top of the descending resistance line, the 0.5 fib line, guys, of an immediate move is the line in the sand to say, yes, we're going to continue going higher or not. If it bounces off the 0.5 or the 382, the 236 is the immediate, okay? But once you break the 236 and close below, and you're going lower, the 0.5 fib is your line in the sand for, yes, this move is continuing, and we know it is. You can assume that it's bullish until it breaks that. At that point, if it goes down to the 618, bounces at the 618, that hold at the 618 can go to the 382, and then what happens there determines kind of the trend, or the short-term trend at least. And then 786s go to 382s, but I can guarantee nothing after that. So you know, right now, if you wanted to sprinkle some longs on the 786 zone, sure, have at it. I don't think the risk reward is there, but there is some wicks. Some, you know, we had a kind of a bullish hammer reversal right here before a quick shakeout. That was a stop hunt, is all that was. But we do have some price action in the past there. I'm not buying it though. I want to see a confirmed bounce. So, I mean, if you go long right here and it dumps below because we're below the 0.5 fib of the current move, that's on you. I just don't think that the risk reward is there. Then, why would I tell you guys not to short right now? Well, I don't think that the risk reward is there. There is no guarantee that we are going lower down to here. But if we do, we could bounce in any part of this zone and continue on, break this resistance line, and then the market could have a greedy reaction to that breaking that resistance line, and then your short gets trapped and you get liquidated or you have to take a big loss. I don't think that that is worth it because there's still a possibility of putting in a higher low from the dumps from the all-time highs. So right now this is a waiting zone. I cannot stress that enough. You need to be able to identify when it is a waiting zone. Right now is one of those. Five, 4, 6, 4 is the low. It took us to 20K, like right there. I don't think that holds, man. I don't think that holds. I don't think it has a lot of merit. There's no fibs that line up with that. And if we break this, previous support at 5,900-ish, it's not going to dump down $500 more in reverse. It's not, in my opinion. Gosh, by all means, put longs there if you want. But you know, we had a bounce for how long was this? How many days? 58 days ish. So 2 months. We had a bounce from this zone. If it finally returns to that zone and breaks it, why would a $500? The only reason that that $500 difference would hold is a certified legendary stop hunt. But if we look at the longs and the shorts, there's not enough shorts there. There's not enough shorts compared to longs to power that move on that stop hunt. Make shorts close. I'm not buying it. The shorts aren't over leveraged right now. So that doesn't tell me that that's something that would be possible. If we break the horizontal, that is when you look to short, you think? You can. Or you can wait for the first bounce up to the 1 hour 20 EMA and short from there. So let's look at when it broke support previously. Like if you look in a bull trend or in a bear trend, how much resistance on the downside there is on the 1 hour 20 EMA and how good of a shorting opportunity that is. After sideways consolidation, like look, for instance, this would be your trend line. It breaks it. When it breaks it, usually it comes back up for a false move. A lot of times that it comes back up, tests that zone, fails it, and then it's game on. And so your other trend line on this would be something like this. You can see just multiple zones where the 1 hour 20 EMA is denying it. All along here, all along here. Break above, can't hold it. 200 denied it before it even got started. Back again, broken over here, 20 EMA. And just take your profits. And that's a very small sample size, but if you want it to be ultra good signals, do the 4 hour 20 EMA. You know, you would set up trade setups. This was 19 days. I mean, okay, so it breaks from all-time highs, right? And we're not dealing with all-time highs right now. I get it, but it breaks this trend line, comes back up, tries to test the 20 EMA, breaks back below. I would probably take profits near the 200 moving average on the 4-hour. That's the first time you test it. That's going to bounce there, right? And then it breaks it. You're waiting for a consolidation pattern. I mean, again, this was from all-time highs, so everybody's still very bullish at that point. You're not looking to short there. But once it finally kind of breaks the next, we don't have to worry about this. This is getting too in depth. But look at this, an area that the type of setup that you could short, something like this. Breaks the trend line, comes back down, short near the 20 EMA, stops above the 200 moving average, never gets above, never closes above. Boom, you get yourself an insane shorting opportunity right there. And if you would short at the 20 EMA right here, minus 21%. Let's say you capture 15% of that move on 5 or 10x leverage. That's 75 to 150% ROI. Right? Just wait for the bounce of the 20 EMA. You could wait for the 4-hour for a more confirmed signal, but find the area that you want to do it, and then go down to the 1-hour and zoom in on that area. But again, each situation is different criteria, but you play the moving averages for shorting opportunities. So Michael, you would wait for it to break support and then come back up and test that support area, and the 1-hour 20 EMA would probably be right there, and then you short that area. We'll go through it when that happens. We'll walk through it together. Let's get to another coin. Let's get to, we're in a holding period right now on Bitcoin and basically on Litecoin. Litecoin's kind of the same. It has bounced and it's trying to hold the 786 zone of the current bounce from the swing lows. So down here to 137, 138 area. This is Coinbase prices. Typically, I like to look at Bitstamp, but whatever. Okay, so it's trying to hold the 786. It's looking like a little consolidation pattern here. I think it would need to put in another low. It will go like this. It's kind of a bearish formation. I think it goes lower. We'll see. It's got to hold the 786. And then, here's the thing is that Litecoin has been battling this fall. It's in a gigantic falling wedge pattern, and it's right against the trend line. So I like Litecoin's trade setup over the long term more than I like Bitcoin's. Because look at this. That's it since February 20th highs, $250, and we're in this gigantic falling wedge. It's had 2 false breaks, 3 false breaks, 1, 2, 3, 2 on the downside, 3 to the downside. It just can't decide. But if we zoom out and we go to the 1-day, it is on this trend line, and it also coincides with this horizontal support right here, but you could even drag this back to horizontal support from August 2017 highs when it had its test pump up to $100. Right? And it came back down and it held this support at this zone, and the trend line's right there as well, and price is close enough to it. I mean, look at that. I would think that Litecoin setup is better than Bitcoin's. It's right on this trend line, this horizontal support, but it's got to get going. Now the thing is, I think it was Alliant Payment Systems or something like that. It said they have a big announcement tomorrow, and people were. Let me go to Twitter. I retweeted this. Yeah, Alliant Payments. Good news tomorrow morning. Everybody's saying that they're going to integrate Litecoin payments, but they're a credit card processing and merchant services provider and one of the first to offer cryptocurrency solutions. So on March 21st, they tweeted out they're going to be giving out Litecoin, but they have Litecoin right on the front of their Twitter page. So they only have 4,700 followers. Do I think this is something that could move the market? Probably not, but every little bit helps, especially at these key support levels. But it's got to get going. It does. It's got to get going. I mean, next level would probably be, I like long-term trend lines when you're breaking support around this zone. And if I were to delete this fib and yeah, the 1.272 of this retrace, let me zoom in. Yeah, it could be. It definitely could be, Michael. The people taking over where it failed. This 1272 around $59. This trend line's around 69 to 70. If you assume it would come over maybe $75, somewhere in this zone. That's $16 difference from all-time highs. That's not a big difference, but from where this is at, that is a big difference. We'd look to catch it somewhere from there. And then if I did a trend-based Fibonacci retracement from all-time highs to swing lows to recent highs, yeah, there's fib confluence right there as well. And then let me see if there's one from here. Yeah, right around that zone, but it's 56 to 48. I don't like those percentage differences as much, but we can see in this zone that there's some confluence. So I like Litecoin setup better. We will have to see. What does RSI say? Not a lot. Not much. So, in a waiting pattern. But if we do zoom in, here's your consolidation pattern. From the first wick to the second, it's right here. Now we had a wick below that was a false breakout, but something like that. Moving averages are flattening, consolidating. There's a move coming. We'll have to see where it goes. The thing, well, no, because this is a 15 minutes, so that doesn't count. So we'll move on. Just wait. I wish I had more for you there. Let's look at ETH. Same shit. Looks exactly like Litecoin on the 15 minute. There you go. Symmetrical triangle. Let's go to the 1 day, find the trend. ETH was in this big falling wedge from the first to the second, and now it was denied at the top of it again. $425-ish, $420. NAS. Okay. Yeah, Michael, but the confluence of the trend line and horizontal support from before the previous market cycle for Litecoin is, in my opinion, a better setup. But again, we all know it comes down to Bitcoin. So, but yeah, it came up, tried to get back within market structure on this falling wedge. Ethereum did, failed at the downtrend line, and now next place to pick it up would be the 786 line of the entire chart, $307, and on this trend line, there's confluence there. If I were to fib this move, Yeah, right around this zone, the 1618 of that drop is there. And if I were to trend base fib from all-time highs to swing lows to recent highs, there's fib confluence there as well. 3 fib lines, support. We shall see. Delete this nasty ass looking. You know, if it fails here, guys, and it goes lower, I'd look to pick it up closer to $300. I think that's a Brinks truck style move. It's got to get going up one of these days. Goodness gracious. The 1 day is at 25, and it got down to, 20-ish, 17. That's insanity. Yeah, 17.85. That's pure insanity. So, if we look at ETH BTC, it's in a falling wedge on the 1 day. It's underneath its moving averages. RSI got down to what? 18? Gosh. I mean, a fall to 300 could coincide with a fall down to the 786 fib line of 4.5 million sats. And there is a little bit of an accumulation zone right there. This would be for a flip up to the 20 EMA or 200 moving average, in my opinion, at least. And then the 0.5 fib of that move would be your stop below on a break, maybe a 4-hour close. But yeah, all comes down to Bitcoin right now. $300, guys, right around there for ETH, maybe 310. I think it'll bounce hard at that point. It's like an icon. Icon's on, established a trend line. That's good. Now from there, the thing that was so frustrating about this is that it didn't have any follow through from an explosive move about Korean exchanges. It had just absolutely no follow through, which is pure insanity to think about. It tried to bounce, it broke below the 618, tried to bounce of the current move, tried to bounce above it. Now it's back below it. 786 near this trend line. If you can get near this trend line for a bounce at least. Our entries were at 24,000 sats. We're still in profit, but it's not the 2x that we had hit. I'm not selling mine. You guys could put a stop at break even or a break of this trend line if you wanted to. Just going to keep holding. I really don't care. I think Icon at $2 is a joke. So when explosive moves happen, and they can happen at the drop of a hat with a project like Icon because it's developing and big time news can hit anytime, I want to make sure I have my share of the market because I do truly believe that this chart is going to look like this someday, soon, with this year. So, and if you guys think about it with Bitcoin, if it drops to 5,000, 4,000 and goes sideways for a while, that's perfect setup for alt season. Bitcoin's going to have to stabilize and consolidate at some point. It can't just keep spiking up and spiking down forever. It doesn't work like that. Markets don't work like that. Now on the downside, yeah, sure. Or on aggressive parabolic moves, sure. But in between, there are tons of consolidation moves. And Bitcoin's going to have to go through that phase before it takes off again. Unless the U.S. government says, hey, we're only accepting Bitcoin for tax payments or something. I don't know. But then you have to ask yourself, how many people are selling their Bitcoin for cryptocurrency taxes? Tax day is April 17th in America. I don't know when tax days are for other countries, but how many people are, having to now pay up and sell their cryptocurrencies for taxes? I don't know. Could that have some effect on the market? Absolutely. But, Q2 has generally been a good one for Bitcoin. So all we needed to do is stabilize and go sideways so these alts can take off because there's tons of accumulation patterns. If we were zoomed down to Icon on a 4-hour, It looks a little bear flaggy, I'm not going to lie. Let's look at the 1 hour to see if that can be an inverse head and shoulders by chance. It's not deep enough. This would be your left shoulder, but it looks like a bear flag. Textbook bear flag. Now, I typically draw my trend lines almost everywhere at wicks, right? Only, not real bodies. But this turns into a megaphone of death at that point, and it looks like the market is respecting this. So that's what we're going to roll with. If this breaks, you can try to catch it on this trend line, 786 area. 25,000 to 26,000 sats, closer to 26,000. With a stop below previous lows. We're just waiting for it to get going. Let's look at Dragon. Dragon. I think they're dropping their AWS platform tomorrow, guys. Their actual Dragon platform, which is freaking huge. And look at this volume that's gone into this. Now that's a lot of selling volume right there, but this was basically tied for the biggest volume wick on an 8-hour in Dragon history. This green one. This is the most selling. But price held up during that. Tells you something. So I think Dragon could freaking explode. Come on, we all know that the second they get listed on another exchange, like a big one like Bittrex, like I said before, once Dragon gets their platform out and it's no longer an ERC20 token, Bittrex can now, according to their criteria, add them to their exchange. And it's held aggressively this resistance line. I had one false break below. Let me expand this. One false break below on an 8-hour, closed directly back above, came back down, held it. And now we're above the 786 of the entire chart. I am guessing that, let me look at this fib. Was that the 886? Yes, it was. It's basically reverse at the 886. Reversals at the 886 typically go to the 0.5. We're looking at 19,600 sats in the short term. If I were to pick this up, let me go to Coinigy real quick so I can move. You know what? It'll just be quicker to do this. EMA, MA, MA. I'm going to have to go to Coinigy. Ooh, 4-hour cloud breakout. Oh, hell yeah, that's bullish. Lagging span above cloud, price above cloud, TK, T above K, TK above cloud. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you betcha. Perfect. We might be able to start rocking cloud trades, guys. That's something you guys haven't seen from me as much, but in crazy bullish times, I like to rock cloud trades because the Tenkan and Kijun are basically dynamic moving average support zones. But let me switch off Tenkan Kijun. Let me switch this to 50. Put these both on. And add an EMA. It never saves my shit. That's why I moved away from KuCoin or from Coinigy. And 20. style, Pank, move this to blue and put it at, I don't know why it wasn't, yeah, it should be at 50. Why is it not changing? I'll have to delete that and add one on. Fitty, style, blue. Here you go. All right. And we're going to delete Stoke RSI and MACD. I don't need them. All right. Let's go to the 1 hour. And if you're not into Dragon, let's get you in. Let me sniff around real quick. Tonight at the 618, went down and bounced to the 302. Now it's at the 302. Bear div. By the time this would get down to the 0.5 fib of the current move, the 1 hour 20 EMA should be near there. You could play quick flips from the 0.5 fib zone. $11,000 sats-ish. I think it's going to continue. There's going to be more demand for this token. Look at the 4 hour. Gosh, we just need to let the 4 hour moving averages catch up. If you get a chance to buy the 4 hour 20 EMA, I think you need to do it. Tonight at the 1. Or the 200 moving average, whichever comes first on the 4 hour. I'd probably play the 4 hour on this, guys. 20 EMA on the 4 hour or the 200 moving average on the 4 hour, which lines up with the 0.618 trend-based fib retracement. 10,700 sats. Yeah. Okay. Let's move along. ONT. ONT is looking good. So, my original call said to pick it up at the 200 near the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. You could pick it up here. You could have picked it up here. Either way, it's moved way further away. Let's say you picked it up here. Now price is right here, 17.5%. If you picked it up near it, like I did, 20.5%, 3% difference, big deal. But all that you need for this big guy to fly here, because we had this consolidation pattern, kind of this bullish pennant, it was clear as day. And this is a move that you could see kind of from Dragon. It's this bullish pennant, but it just needs some consolidation. Let the 4 hour moving averages get up near the price a little bit more. Find some support, some footing that's visual on the chart. But this one looks good. It's a new coin. People love it. You got an airdrop to you if you held NEO. But you want to see it get above. I mean, 37,217 is kind of the all-time highs. That was right after the drop and then the first peak. Goodness gracious, the people that bought that and then it got down, that's not that bad. There's worse. Kenya coin is one I can think of. But you want to see a 1 hour close above 36,000 sats. Then look to see where the 4 hour is. You want it to close above that. But the big one is 37,000 to, we'll call it 37,220. You want to see a 4 hour close above that, and then it's game on. Our target on a measured move and the 1.6 fib 1.618 fib extension. I say around 49,000 sats before the 50,000 key psychological resistance zone. But the measured move would line up with kind of the 1.618 area. So I like to sell a little bit early rather than too late, personally. Now, if the Elliott wave, people would say, oh, well, macro, this is what, 1, down 2, up 3, down 4, 36,000 sats, up 5 to 67,000 or 75,000. We'll see on that. We will see on that. I mean, you could exit your original investment at that point, 49,000 sats, let the rest ride. It's up to you. We'll worry about that when we come to it, trust me. That's a good problem to have, but it's a great trade, and we're killing it. Let's go to OCN. Gosh. Still the same. I mean, it looks like it's making some hay since our live stream on Monday. It was right kind of on this trend line, and we bought in. Now, again, we know the volume on this comparatively to the past, if we go to the 4 hour, was obnoxiously high. So I'm still looking for a much bigger move from this. Your confirmed move, not only do you want a breakout of, go back to auto, and take a volume off. Not only do you want a breakout of kind of this zone, so $165, but the false break was at 168, so get above 168. But then your next horizontal resistance would come 188, 190. You want to get above 190 on a close. 190. That looks like, yeah, 191. You want to get a close above 191 on a 4 hour, and then she's going to freaking fly. She's going to absolutely fly. I wish I had some fib targets for you guys, but there's just nothing on this chart. I'm not fibbing from there. It's an outlier. That's insane. Trade's going well. Keep it going. If we were to fib this, guys, and you want to know if, what's my bull bear line, this is an aggressive trend line. I'm not apt to stick to that as much. The 0.5 fib is where I would get out underneath 121 on a 4 hour close. I'd set an alarm there, take a look at it, watch the price action. I don't want to wick below, that would stink. But I don't think that's a problem that we're going to have. So that could fit your stop criteria, though. Let's look at the link call I made today. Yeah, but Michael, not necessarily. Obviously, the higher price one, yeah, but I don't know which one that's going to be because we have an aggressive move to the upside, and the 200 moving average, which is currently there, is no longer in play to be the 20 EMA, which is currently below it. Smart ass. Let's look at link. So this was the call. I like to buy 786 fib retraces. So yeah, let me just go to the chart. Snooping around charts today, trying to find something good that hasn't pumped yet. And this might not reach it, but if it does, let me go to the 4 hour. This is one of my specialties that I love to buy. So snooping around this, you see there's going to be clear support. That was a pretty big wick there. And the falling wedge falls right down to this line. And this horizontal support also lines up with the 786 of the entire chart, or at least of this move from the bottom to the top. This is all noise over here. There's certain price action over here that I will fib. This is not one of them. That I will count my fibs. This is not one of them. started high and then it just dumped to hell. So from the lows to the recent highs is my fib, and it looks like it's funneling straight down to the zone. Now on the 4-hour, it's gotten above the 20 EMA. 20 EMA is below the 50, but it's sloping up. It looks like it could be making a run. However, the 200 moving average is there to block a breakout. So this could go for a while. If you get a chance to buy it near this area, guys, I would buy it near this area. We're looking at, 2,900 to above 2,900 to 3,000 sats. Your stop would be on a daily close below this, and then reversal of the 786, go to the 382. But there is a pretty clear horizontal resistance right here at this peak that comes right before the 382. There's a lot of confluence on the chart that I really like. The 382 is at 64.67, but this horizontal resistance is right around 62.80. So I'd say sell before 62.50. At least your initial investment, if you want to let the rest ride for the new market cycle, you can. It's up to you how much you sell. I like to sell original investments to let the rest ride because those are then free coins. And my profits, I'm not going to pay myself now. My profits will be taken on the next market cycle. I buy myself time. And then my portfolio starts snowballing for the next market cycle. I have all these coins that are essentially free, and I just keep turning them over and getting free coins that I will sell into greed, not into fear. So that's how I manage my portfolio. That's Link. Let's look at Substratum. I really like this setup. Looking consolidation-y. Now, price is going to make an explosive move here shortly. The moving averages are coiled to all hell. This is the 4-hour, and look how tight those moving averages are. That is pure insanity. So you have kind of this because that was a false break below, bounce on that trend line, and then that was really the start of the move, but somewhere around there. But you don't really even need that, guys. All you need to see is that moving averages are very coiled. Now, if this breaks down, you can catch it on this trend line near the 886 again. I'd say on the trend line, try to catch it on the trend line. But goodness gracious, I like this project a lot. This was kind of key horizontal support area that it got below, but it just worked its way back above. Let me get the horizontal ray and it's trying to hold that line. If BTC doesn't dump here, guys, is my network not working? Oh, I think it is working. Okay. My phone said that I lost connection, but my computer said that didn't. Okay, we're working. Cool. Let's get back to it. the sub call, I said stop below 4,200 sats, entry below 5,200, around the 0.5 fib zone of 1,100 sats will be our target. And I like it. And if it breaks here, we'll just get, this could even be your stop. You can move your stop up below 4,400 sats and then try to get it on the, or just add to your position on the trend line. It's up to you. I'm going to add to my position probably on the trend line. I probably won't get out of this. I really like this setup. It could come through here and then boom. And we had a huge volume spike recently. 3 weeks ago, we had a massive, the biggest volume candle on this chart. So I'm in, I'm holding. I'm going to sell the shit out of this. So we'll see. EOS. EOS is banging, man. It's looking good. It's looking really good. This has been a really good trade. Our original call was to enter. Let's look at it. So you guys can understand, people who are new here can understand kind of the ways that we are scouting the market for setups. Oh, you know what? It's not on here. It's on. I don't remember where the call is. It was a measured move. I want to show you guys the setup. Yeah, here we go. So I teach you how I spot a measured move. Where's this? Jump. Yeah, so I said basically, this is the 618 fib line of the entire chart. We have a pretty clear bear flag here, and the length of the pull is the length of the drop. And then this 618 line on our current, this was the move. It took us to buy at 56,000 sats, I think I said. So we got almost the exact bottom of this, and then now it's moved completely away from it. And then, the thing that I really like about EOS on this move is that it's holding from the spike lows where we bought in to the top of this move. It's held the 236 exactly. And then now it's back above the 4-hour 20 EMA. And it didn't let either of these times, the 20 EMA on the 4-hour, cross the 50. So it's looking beautiful. My stop would be on a daily close below the 200 moving average on the 4-hour. I don't think it's going to get below there, but a daily close below there would stop me out, and that would still be at least my original investment. I'd probably take my original investment off the table there, and that would still be almost a 30% profit. This thing is going now, and we're in severe profits, and I'm almost inclined to just hold this damn thing. So EOS is looking really, really good. It's just gorgeous. It's just freaking gorgeous. And the reason that I like this to hold is because I believe there's a trend line here. Yes, broke below, real body didn't, close right back above, and there's your trend line. You could even hold it on the trend line, guys, until a one-day close below this trend line, because your entry is so amazing that you're protected. You almost can't lose on this trade, and you can just ride it out. You know, the best traders let their winners ride. Well, this is a clear winner. You have amazing stop criteria on this. If you want to get greedy with your stops, you could do below the 200 moving average on the 4-hour on a one-day close below that, so you'd have to line it up. I mean, that's being greedy but not being greedy at the same time. You're giving yourself basically 6 4-hour candles potentially to get its act together. Or you could just do this trend line, because at this point, by the time price catches up to this trend line, it could be somewhere around here, 65,000 sats-ish. And then you're still in 20% profits at that point, almost. So get greedy with this one, I think, on your stops. Let her ride. You know, if you were to try to project this, we're finally above the 236 on the trend-based fib line. Just look at the pink one. Sorry that it's so shitty. But your next resistance is going to be 100,000 sats, pretty much the 382 line right before that. But moving forward, where could we go? The freaking moon. 253,000 sats. This could be a 5x for us. By all means, this could be a 5x for us. I really think so. Because EOS is in its early stages, and people are calling it the Ethereum killer. It could, I would hold this. We're the lucky ones. Let's look at our strat entry. Hanging on this trend line. We're still in profit. If you got stopped out, I get it. I had my stops below this wick. Didn't get stopped out. I'm going to keep them there. It was fun while it lasted, at least. I mean, it got up to, we bought at right on this trend line at 48,000-ish sats. Got up to 65,000-ish. Now it's, you know, we're still in profit. Doesn't want to hold, it doesn't want to hold. There's nothing you can really do, you know. That's such a minimal loss to try to let it ride. What's the RSI saying? Nothing. What's the one-day RSI saying? Nothing. I think it holds here. I really do. We'll see. You have your stop criteria. I did it below that wick. Nothing really to report. Let's look at Tron. I had found a bounce spot I wanted on Tron. And earlier, but I don't think I documented it down, which is my fault because that's my job. Yeah, because it's right on the 786 of the this is actually a buy zone for Tron. 786 and 618 up to the 382 at least to 537 sats. What's the RSI say? This is the one day. What's the 4-hour say? Because the 4-hour would be more precise. It's a bull div. Right on the 200 moving average. You could buy Tron right now with a stop below 430 sats. So we're going to put a call out. in my quick flip portion. Quick flip alert TRX. Currently in buy zone. Gosh, I can't type. Stop below 430 sats. Target 382 line at under 537 sats. It's right on the 200 moving average, the 618 line of the current move, 786 line of the entire chart. There's a bull div on the RSI. So what I mean by that is lower low on price, higher low on oscillator. See that? My wife is yelling at my dogs right now. Sorry, guys, if you can hear that. Yeah, it's a valid setup. Try it. Try it on for size. Very low risk. If you want to be more aggressive with your stops, it could be below this trend line. Like 427 or something. What's like 3 sats, really? I said below 430, but you can put down like 427 to 425. What's 3 to 5 sats when you're rich? All right, let's look at Verge. I haven't done Storm or Ito, guys. I'll add Storm to my list, but Ito's on my list. ONT, trailing stops, below the 0.5 fib line. So let me go back to this. Well, you know what? Go back and watch this when this like you can go back because it looks like ONT's just popped. Yep, there you go. Nice. It'll get there. It'll get there, guys. I wouldn't even worry. It's gonna get to our target without a doubt. You can use trailing stops. So now you can put one below 31,500 sats, like below this area right here. I probably wouldn't though. It's gonna get there. What's Bitcoin at? Yeah, Bitcoin bounced a little bit. Yeah, I think it'll get there. Let's look at Verge. Okay, so Verge is now finally making a move down. Looks like, but I want to see the 4-hour because I know it was away from. Okay, the 20 EMA is coming up. So let's scout this out. What's the RSI tell us? Okay, it peaked at 80, almost 90, 91. Oh my goodness gracious, that's crazy. So 91, it peaked at, and then now it's back down below 60. Okay, that's crazy. 60 is our 4-hour RSI. Our 1-hour RSI has to be lower than that. Yeah, it's at 41, 44. What's the 15 minutes? Probably oversold or near it. It bounced off the key 30 line. Okay. What's the 1 day? Because I want to see the overall trend. 70. That's a lot. I told the group to track out in the 1 day 20 EMA for a buy, which we'll see. But I think this is another valid trade setup, is to get it on this 20 EMA for a bounce. Or 382. It's a little more dangerous because the 20 EMA is away from the 382 in the 4 hour, but look at previous spikes. What happened at the 4 hour 20 EMA? Like right there. Look at this one. Price was so far away from it, came down to the 20 EMA, bounced right there, bounced back up, finally crashed back through. But it even came below and closed much higher. So 20 EMA, you might be able to catch it for a nice quick flip. Where to? See, this isn't as defined of a trade setup because the 20 EMA is so far from the 50. I'm guessing that this current move bounced at the 0.5. Points. Yeah, so it did. It bounced. It held the 0.5 on a 4 hour or on a 15 minute. That's the 0.5 fib line right there, and it false break below and immediately got back above. Yeah, and that's the 618. 800 sats, call it. And you can flip that back up to 893 sats. All right. Couple trades. All right, good, at home. Cool. Moving forward, Tron looks freaking great. I mean, it had some serious FUD today. Market didn't even care. So if you want to sell your original investment or a portion of it at that, I put 897. That's 892. Oh, that's Verge. What am I doing? Make sure you check the XVG quick flip. I changed the target price. lowered it by 5 sats, FYI. And you want to buy under it. All right, guys, there's 2 trade setups for you right now. Where's it going? I don't know, but it looks phenomenal. I mean, this kind of looks like what we wanted from Icon. You know, you can then try to catch it on the 1-day 20 EMA. It'll probably be somewhere around 680 to 700 sats at that point. Like, I would imagine, I'm going to remove this here, but then I would imagine that this 0.5 fib line of this current move, by the time it catches up to it, would be where the 20 EMA would be, and it's kind of horizontal resistance behind here as well, or support, excuse me. You know, you could try to catch it 700 sats as well for the next move up on a consolidation pattern. So it's trading, baby. Let the market come to you. Speaking of let the market come to you, Spank. Oh. Somebody asked for Spank. You savage. Oh, we're getting a rounded basing pattern. This is the only fib here that I can really draw. And it just so happens to be the 1.618 retracement zone. Buy that shit. Why the fuck not? It's on Bitfinex, though. I wonder if it's on any other exchanges. Cryptopia? Why? Oh, gosh. It has a completely different chart on Cryptopia. And that's the 886 fib line. Yeah, this is like a buy zone on 2 exchanges. This was December 28th. Whoops. And this was, yeah, so the December 28th is a more valid setup on Cryptopia. Buy it. Sell it at 3,400 sats. God, that looks good. What's the volume look like? Nothing. Here, we'll get you another trade setup, guys. Stop below 1,500 sats. Buy here. And then your sell on a reversal at the 886 fib line would be the 0.5, 3,400 sats. New altcoin call. Spank on Cryptopia. Buy in the current zone. Sell 0.86 fib line of current chart. Target is 0.5 of current chart before 3,350 sats. Stop below 1,500 sats. I'll give this one to the Telegram as well because they've been soldiers recently. Cardano. Nano will be the last one that I add, guys. I need to take a break for 1 minute. Let me go check on my dog real quick, okay? I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Cardano. No. Not Binance, Cardano. I want to go to the 1-day chart on this. We bought at the 786 line. It's above the 20 EMA, which I like, but it's got to get going. And here is your stop. A 1-day close below this trend line, and as a matter of fact, that's not the, this is it. Here's your pattern. Break above, hold, break below, stop. That's all I got for you. 786 is the current move. 5,800 sats is where it would kind of go. And that makes sense. Well, because you'd face resistance at a couple spots. Right here, you know, right before the 618, but closer to 3588 sats. And then right here, I'm sorry, and this zone is a natural one. And I'd even probably call it here 5,500 sats. And then you could play the moving averages to tell you when to get out. But this might break lower, guys. So just, if it breaks that trend line, just stop out. Our entry was 2,200 sats. I mean, it's going to be next to nothing. Price of playing. Or just hold it because it's Cardano. Let's look at Ripple. It's about to lose a 200-day moving average. and horizontal support, long-term horizontal support. RSI hasn't even broken 30 yet on the 1 day. It's make or break, do or die time. You guys can go to Poloniex. I don't know if BitMEX still has Ripple on it, but if it does, you could short the fuck out of this if it breaks 68.90, 68.80, I'm sorry, sats. Down to at least 58.35, 58.50. On 2.5x margin, gosh, that's a great move. But probably lower than that. Look what happened last time that Ripple lost the 200-day moving average. It dropped one fib zone, 38%, and this would be 16%. Up to the 886 fib line, 49%, something like that. But it needs to get going. You could even long this spot with a close underneath, with a stop underneath like 68.80. Try to play both sides of the coin. If it does want to, reverse here, you're good. If not, there's almost no loss. I mean, there kind of is because it's 400 sats, 300 sats. But that's a good, you could long here. You could. And the next spot would be on this trend line, to be honest with you. The 886 up to the 786, sell, get back on the trend line. I already had this mapped out. But this is almost shorting zone. You can short in Poloniex or BitMEX, I think. But it doesn't look like the bleeding's done. Let's check my fantasy team. It's very important. Oh, we're getting smacked. Not good. It's a bad start, man. I got Miguel Cabrera, Nolan Arenado, Manny Machado. Won the title last year, but no bueno. It's just been bad. It's just been bad. All right. Back to the charts. Waves. We had a call for waves. Stop below 50,000 sats. Right in the middle. It's a long consolidation pattern. I really like this pattern. You have your trade criteria. We will see what happens. Nothing to report here. I mean, the only other thing to report would be your target. Oops, not a GAN fan. Market reversed at the 886 up to the 0.5, 140,000 sats just underneath it. Komodo. Had this falling wedge breakout. Bang, bang. Let me look at the call that I made. Yeah, falling wedge breakout, reverse 786 fib line of most recent market cycle by the 1 hour 20 EMA. So you bought right here. You're above breakout zone. So you're in profit, barely. .5%. Oh well. That's an insane day on the Dow. But your stop for this would be, gosh, below a 4-hour close below the 4-hour 50. 35,000 sats. Yeah. This is Komodo, not Komodo. What the fuck am I doing? There you go. Ooh, looks like she wants to get going. Go, baby. It's like a V chain. Yeah, we'll do nano last, guys. It's in this big falling wedge. Hasn't broken out yet. So if I take this fib off. Oh, it looks so good. I think it's going to go higher. I do. It could move all the way down this falling wedge first. But I think it's going to go higher. It bounced at the 618 of the entire chart. If it goes higher, your first target zone would be 51,700 sats. Reversals at 618 go to 382, and then what happens kind of in that area on a retrace? You want it to hold a 0.5 of the entire move. So you'd want it to hold pretty much, I don't think that would be the 0.5 zone. Oh, whoops. You know, if that's where it got to, you want it to hold 42,000 sats-ish on the retrace to continue. So, you know, we had a false breakout of this wedge twice. 1, 2. And then it's trying to find support at the 4-hour 50. But if you draw this pattern, this is just another falling wedge. And this freaking coin seems to love falling wedges. So, hang in there. I think it's going higher. Be a new market cycle. EDU. You know, here's the thing about EDU is I can't decide for the life of me if this is more of an ascending if this is more of an ascending growth channel or like the yellow line and the blue line, or if it is more of a rising wedge, and I want to say it's more of a rising wedge. So, you know, if this were to break, I'd say the 200 moving average would try to catch it, but, you know, rising wedges love to fall to 0.618, which would be like a wick down to like 19,120 sats-ish, not 100 sats, like 19,000 sats, right around or above there. But the 0.5 is of the entire move is at 20,000 sats, and that is like the key psychological resistance or support zone as well, 20K, and then the 200 moving average on the 4 hours there as well. So I'd say that's probably more likely of a catch area, at least for a quick flip. But gosh, do you sell on the break of the growth channel, or do you sell on the break of the rising wedge? Probably break the rising wedge. You can always get back in. You can lock in profit there. So let's say break the 4 hour. Probably break below the rising wedge, but it's the second trend line touch, and this is a tough call, man. To protect you, you're still in profit at the ascending channel trend line. You could do it there. It's just up to you. It's just a really tough call, to be honest with you. Welcome to trading, active trade management. Just don't lose money on it. That's all I ask. Because we're in profit. Let's look at Encash. I think Encash had moved up. And now it moved back down. Piece of shit. And is trying to ride this 200 moving average and the 0.5 fib zone of the entire chart, which isn't much. But looking at this chart, I think that it just needs to go sideways a little bit longer and just hold in, a tight consolidation pattern. I think it's going to move up. I really do. I don't think it's going to die here. That's too nice of a pattern. I think she's going up. For sure. I really do. It looks so beautiful. Just hold through the night, really. I mean, what is this? Okay, a few days. Yeah. Looks good. Not a lot to report there. Let's look at Wanchain, other than I think it's going up. You could close on a 4 hour. You could stop below the 200 moving average on like a 4 hour or 2 4 hours if you want a confirmation candle, so you don't get stop hunted. Wan looks like it's spaghetti-o. Not really. Looks really good, to be honest with you. Because even if it breaks here, like right now, you're looking at what, this? But even if it breaks here and would bounce to the 618, that's still like a bull flaggy falling wedge. Now the flagpole isn't quite long enough to be a bull flag, but I still like the price action. You know where Wanchain's going, guys. For God's sake. Lumens. Lumens actually had held up really well, and this was kind of like looking like a inverse head and shoulders pattern. A rounded bottom inverse head and shoulders pattern, left shoulder, head, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Not the most symmetrical pattern in the world, but it did have a downward sloping neckline, which I like a lot, right? So it's come out of it, and it never really, I mean, it broke below the 618, but immediately recovered it. And then now you're looking at this beautiful pattern. I love these. Bounced off the 200 moving average on the 4 hour. Gosh, it's gorgeous. And then your trend line for the short-term move, if you like those, be like right here. Not much of a trend line otherwise. Gosh, that's like the only one that you have. The only other one that you would have would be like here. Be a huge symmetrical triangle pattern. I think it goes higher, guys. You can keep trying to buy in the trend line or something, but I want to see follow through on this. And the next move that it makes will tell us a whole hell of a lot about the chart. But it's in no man's land right now. If you bought the 618, congratulations. That's why you buy key levels. But I can't tell you to do anything yet, but it looks like a good chart. It looks nice. Like for a potential setup. But I have to see more price action on that one. ENJ. I thought I had looked at ENJ earlier today. Ooh, baby. Somebody had asked me about ENJ earlier today. And I can't figure out where. Oh, I think it was in the chat. And I said, Sorry guys, hold up. I gotta find it. Oh, you know what? It was in the Telegram, I believe. Yeah, and when checking out ENJ, volume isn't that much on one day chart. I said, but underneath there's a chart. I said underneath the 618 fib line of the entire chart currently, 2 spots to pick it up, either on the trend line or at the 786 fib of the entire chart. It's fallen below 0.5 fib of current move, leading me to believe more downside price action is in store and will be confirmed by a break below. However, this looks like a really good pattern. So if you can get it at that zone, at this 786 zone, and probably it'll wick down to horizontal support here, 800 sats, do it. Because if it doesn't get back on top of this 0.5 fib zone, it's got, and I believe it was underneath the 0.618 of the current move I said, or the 0.5 fib of the current move, yeah. So it needs to get going, or you're going to be able to pick it up at the 786 fib zone and maybe a wick below around 800 sats. So Nas. Can't really do much for it because I don't have charting tools on Huobi, and it's not in any other charting service. Yeah, I can't tell you, man. I own Nas and I hold it, but I can't give you advice on anything. Well, this isn't advice as it is. This is not financial advice, but I can't act like I can read a chart that I can't use indicators on. I'm not an algorithm. I'm sorry. Storm. What would good old Stormy do? Do I have Storm on here? Yes, I already did. Broke the trend line and looks to be in some sort of good old Stormy Daniels. All right. Channel. Yeah, it's being denied by the 0.618. It was denied by the 0.5 on a wick. And I think it had a lot of volume. No, not that much on the 4 hour. It's ugly. It's actually at a buy zone right now. Up to the 200 moving average. 445 up to 480. I think this is 786, the current move. 886 maybe? Yeah, 786-ish. Back on top. You go to 382, 513, but I think that the 618, which lines up perfectly with the 473 sats, is... Yeah, I'd buy this, guys. Buy this here up to 470. Stop below 425. Didn't quite get to the 786 of the entire chart. Something tells me it's going to want to test this horizontal ray here on a wick. If you get a chance to buy it at above 350 sats, like, yeah, like 353, 355, I would do it personally. And then, you know, your target would be closer to 650, 660. Reversal to 786 go up to 382 typically. You'd have this horizontal resistance at 640, so I look like 630. All right, last one, Nano. '86 fib line is rounding. You can try to grab it at 70,000 sats. Kind of needs to find bottom, but that would be a very key level to buy. And the next one after that would be 57,000 sats. Just above that. The previous low is 58,500. Yeah, because this isn't exact. So it's right at the 886. You could buy this here with a stop below 72,000 sats on a 4-hour close. Yeah, wouldn't be bad. At least up to the 618 line, 100,000 sats. What's the volume look like recently? Not much. Huh. Yeah. I don't know what else to tell you. It could have this long consolidation pattern and mess with you at this 86 fib line. But this would be a key level to buy for next market cycle, in my opinion. So. All right, guys. I'm going to take off now. It's been a long stream. Thank you for joining. Please like, subscribe, put notifications on so that when I go live, you know. And thank you guys very much for joining. It was a good stream. So I will catch you guys on the flip side. Have a good one. Cheers.